walking home because it was a short walk to the middle school, and this dude was like had a kid. I say kid, he was probably 15, 16 on the ground, and like they were fighting.
Oh shit.
And a girl I knew but didn't know, she was walking home. No, she was at home because she lived like right next to the school.
Okay.
And she's outside jumping up and down and clapping and shit. And I'm like, go call the cops, please. And she you could see it in her face like, oh, I need to call the cops. So she ran inside, called the cops, and I was like, I just
She's like, hers like, ooh, a fight. Let's see it.
and
It's like,
she
no.
was like, yay. And I go, that's a grown ass man beating the shit out of this kid.
Dude, there's been a few times I thought I was about to watch a grown man fuck a kid up. Like,
what?
Oh, yeah, man. I remember we used to live in DeSoto, and I remember we were all outside, and we were like, I can't remember what we were doing, but for whatever reason, I think I'm in maybe 4th grade at the time, and we start throwing rocks at each other, all right? And so, yeah, we're fucking like 8, 9 years old.
I know, but like, man, I've heard some poor people game shit, but like, hey, man, I mean, we used to pick up branches and act like they were guns and stuff.
Oh,
And y'all let's pick up a pile of rocks.
Yeah,
Throw it at
dude,
each
you've
other.
never gotten to like a rock fight?
No.
Oh, man. Like, so rock fights are, or like a dirt clod fight anyway. You got those big giant things that dirt when they hit you, they explode.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there weren't any dirt clods around, so we were just throwing rocks at each other. And I guess this dude had just gotten a brand new truck. And so we're like in the street throwing, and this kid like is in front of this guy's these two kids were like in front of this guy's truck throwing rocks at it, and he just happened to come outside and see it. And this dude gets so pissed.
Right.
Like, he like is screaming and yells and walks up on this other like 8, 9-year-old kid and like bows up on this kid like and gets like this far from his face screaming and yelling at him. Like his fists are clenched. Like I was like, oh shit, he's about to punch the shit out of Trey. And I'm just like, yo. I'm just like,
No, don't do it.
I was like, oh my God.
I saw that. So a friend of mine growing up, that there was a similar situation to it, and he's a youth pastor now, which is, as a kid, I was like, no, this dude's gonna be like a seasoned criminal. I don't know. I mean, the way, so he was running across the street.
Okay.
And SUVs passes by. It's not a good part of town. And he decides to slap the back fender of it as hard as he could.
Oh.
And the dude gets out of this SUV, and we couldn't have been like 11 or 12. And he is cussing my friend out, and he's cussing him right back. He's like, what the fuck you gonna do about it? I was like, man, we're gonna get all
fucked
kinds of
up. He's
trouble.
gonna go to jail for beating up a minor.
But then back then, I really think he thought he could have probably taken him in a fight.
You are not Mike Tyson, bro.
No.
Oh.
No.
I'm trying to think of another time. Actually, this time, this adult did put hands on this kid. I remember, I think I was like in middle school. Or maybe like a freshman high school. I can't remember. I think it was in high school.
Yeah.
There's this dude. I'm not going to say his name, even though he's a cool teacher, really cool guy. I think his wife still works for the school. Son was really cool, but he's talking to this kid. This kid was definitely on steroids at the time, but he's just kind of messing with him. He's like, "Hey man," he's like, "Hey, you know what, man, Mister, da da da." He's like, "I think I could take you." He's like, bro, like, hey, well, let's not go down this road. Like, when I play for keeps, man. Like, let's not. Hey, we're not playing this game or whatever. He's like, what's the, why not, man? I think, I'm kind of pretty big, blah da da. And he says like, all right, stop. And he just kind of, and he like starts, but he's like, bro, don't put your hands on me, kid. Like, don't do that. And then he's just like, kind of does like the little play tap or whatever with him, and he immediately just like takes his hand and just like choke slams him up against the wall. He's like, and he goes, bow. Hey, told you not to play with me, bro. And I'm you're like, whoa.
I mean, and that was back then. I just feel like he's gonna learn a lesson.
Yeah.
But nowadays, you just like that dude's going to jail.
Yeah, he's immediately getting fired. Like, this is crazy what kids can get teachers fired for nowadays over the dumbest shit.
Yeah, like sleeping with them and
Blue suit with a blowout. If you got a body, then you better not